Mr. Speaker, sir, on the recommendation of the Governor, I beg, sir, to move that a sum not exceeding 1,558 crore 44 lakh 73,000, including the sum already voted on account for the relevant services, be granted to the Minister in charge to defray certain charges which will come in the course of payment during the year ending 31st March 2025 for the administration of the heads 2045 other taxes and duties on commodities and services, 2501 special program for rural development, 2801 power, 2810 new and renewable energy, 4801 capital outlay on power projects, 6801 loans for power projects.
Motion moved. Now there is one cut motion against this grant, tabled by Sri Charles Marangar, MLA. You may kindly move, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the total provision of rupees 1,558 crore 44 lakh 73,000 under the grant number 11, Major Head 2801 power at page 104 to 123 of budget be reduced to rupees 1. That is the amount of the whole grant of 1,558 crore 44 lakhs 73,000 do stand reduced to rupees 1.
Motion moved. You may now initiate the discussion. Charles Marangar.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Regarding the power department, I've been hearing numerous complaints from constituents about the challenges faced. One prominent issue is the irregularity of electricity supply, especially in rural areas where villages often experience only 1 to 2 hours of power each day, despite having connections. So in my constituency alone, around 90% of villages encounter this problem. Yet they still bill the same amount. Understandably, residents are reluctant to pay for unreliable service. But doing so is having the connection cut off by the power department, sir. If the department can fulfill the electricity needs of the people, there should be a mechanism to adjust bills accordingly. It's perplexing why the government has addressed the long-standing issue, instead adding stress to the populace. Rather than simply disconnecting power, should not residents have the right to demand accountability from the power department? This approach not only threatens the economy and employment, but also impacts students' academic. It is imperative for the power department and the government to address this matter promptly, sir, prioritizing the welfare of the people. Therefore, I urge the government to take swift and serious action on this issue. Additionally, sir, I'd like to highlight the shortage of manpower within the power department. I recall visiting the electricity bill payment when I was 17, 18 years old, observing a full staff complement, but the situation has since changed. It's been brought to my attention that many vacant positions have not been filled. Furthermore, there is a notable scarcity of linemen in our villages. With fewer linemen to oversee the proper management of electricity, sir, who will undertake the crucial works. For example, in my constituency, sir, a lineman from Siang area passed away in the year 2010. Yet there has been no replacement till date. This shortage of manpower is evident in many substations and likely contributes to the electricity supply issues in our villages. Therefore, sir, I urge the government to address this matter urgently and expedite the process of filling vacant position. Furthermore, sir, there is a scarcity of transformers. When a transformer is damaged, it takes 4 to 5 months to replace it with a new one, sir. This is another issue, sir, that requires the attention of the government. And next to that, sir, there are newly established villages that applied for electricity connection 1 or 2 years ago, but have not yet received. Therefore, sir, I urge the relevant department to address this matter promptly. Last but not the least, sir, I would like to draw the attention to the situation in Amjong area in my constituency, where transformer and wires have been installed for 4 years, yet no connection have been provided. Despite my efforts as local MLA, including writing letters to the concerned department, no action has been taken thus far. Therefore, sir, I urge the government of the day to kindly expedite resolution of this matter. Mr. Speaker, sir, with these few words, I once again request the government of the day to kindly take immediate step on many issues faced by our people on power department. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I take the privilege to rise and support this cut motion tabled by honorable member from Mauhati, Sri C. Margar. And I would like to be brief, and I would like to just draw the attention of the government, particularly the minister in charge, pertaining to a few concerns. We all have been all seized with the problem being confronted by the different utilities under MECL. And we all know the reason. We all know the reason. And it is a very crucial sector, the engine of growth. Without power, God knows what can happen. So therefore, number one, the utmost sincere intent with which various other investments have been done over the last preceding years. We have been fortunate, privileged to have the funding from different external aided programs. Many states have benefited out of that, and many states have been able to create a turnaround in the whole otherwise losing concerns of the different utilities of this very important sector under the government. Now, having said this, I think we somewhere, somehow, while grappling to find answers, have not been able to achieve the kind of outcome that we all desire. And therefore, in the best interest of the state as a whole, since the future need to be looked at also as to how things will unfold, and the areas where serious concern can be reflected easily by each one of us is something for which the data are available, the informations are available, where the data indicate serious loopholes which need to be plugged. Now, if we look at by the available data pertaining to the different energy audit, etc., another thing is that when we try to do good to the huge gap between the generation of power and the actual demand, we definitely are required to resort to power purchase. Now, when we resort to power purchase, certain power purchases are based on the predetermined negotiation with all the generation companies. The Government of India has been kind to us since the beginning, as we didn't have the investors from the private sector to really invest from the public sector. You have the NIPCO, whose headquarters is here, fortunately, and to our privilege and advantage. Then we have various other central CPSUs generating power, including NTPC. And they are all government sectors, because states didn't have that kind of resources to really invest huge amount of money in as far as generation of power is concerned, despite having the potentialities of generation. We have seen even in the budget speech and also in the governor's address, what is the actual potentiality that we have to really leverage upon, both from the conventional and renewable. But the problem is the resources for generation and the time, the environment, and other clearances, which become inherently somehow natural bottlenecks by default in delaying projects. That is a reality. We have seen it. Despite the sincere attempts of government in the preceding years, whether we talk about LESCA, we had so many unforeseen challenges, the geological surprises, which ended up, resulting in time overrun, cost overrun. These are realities. We don't doubt about that. Then, again, when we talk about various other programs, various other generation schemes, but where we have benefited is when we have resorted to identify those small hydro power projects, small ones, which can be, of course, again, eligible to qualify under the renewable energy sector, where we get lots of support from the concept of resorting to green energy source. So even hydro below 25 is considered to be eligible. Therefore, let us leverage upon these things. I'm happy that Ganol, the first ever hydropower project in Garo Hills, have been commissioned, despite many other hurdles. We have together been able to see that it is now completely operational. But we also have the second phase. We should leverage upon that. The second phase of Ganol hydroelectricity project, which will again be eligible to be, small hydro. And also, let us look at how we can integrate our approach, because we have number of programs which are funded by externally aided projects. We did do lots of homeworks to reach out to various funding agencies, and today we are happy that they are already available before the government. So take care of the perennial aspect of the rivers, since our rivers are not actually snow-fed. Therefore, we are completely dependent on rain and how we recharge our catchment areas. Therefore, when we take up these programs, which are being funded by externally aided projects, let us integrate with these few of the important generation potentialities of the rivers in the state. That will amplify the availability of benefit due to improvement in hydrology. So I think Minister in charge power is quite well versed in power sector. I can understand why the CM himself has chosen him. Yes, he comes with a wealth of experience, and I would like to see that we really take benefit out of that. And I think this much indication is good enough for him to understand, comprehend, and put them to use as to what we mean. Well, not intending to offend anybody, but we have made mistakes in the past. We have made mistakes. Number of power projects were taken up. Even when I was having the privilege of being in charge of power sector, we embarked upon the whole power policy as per the mandate of the Electricity Act 2003. We did exhaustive discussion and then tried to bring in investors. But one thing I would like to share before this August House, which the Honorable Chief Minister also have shared, as he was replying to one of the 0 hours, investors. We must remember that investors do have luxury of options. Meghalaya is not the only area where corporate houses who are flushed with money, who have the investable reserve, Meghalaya is not the only option. The whole world is a playfield for them. Therefore, we must be very cautious not to frighten the investors. Let us be really practical. Why is Electricity Act 2003 passed? Precisely because government cannot, whether government of India or the state governments, cannot afford to mop up that kind of resources for investment in this huge capital investment infrastructure. Therefore, time has come. We have learned from the past. I don't blame anybody. Even NIPCO, we're talking about thermal plants. Why did we cancel that NIPCO's power plant, which was supposed to be 500 megawatt to be established in East Garowe? We forgot that politics can be also give us the kind of setback from which we can land up in irreversible momentum of growth. Therefore, I would like to say that we stand united in supporting the government in investment. Let power sector be one area where the investment should be focused, and let the people of the state of this beautiful state of Meghalaya be taken on board. There are many reasons why I'm saying that. Because lots of misgivings, misunderstanding have taken place in the past. Even now, we still have problem. The problem with the Mukul. Why do we have problem? The problem with Umgot. Why do we have problem? See, these are the areas which will flush the MCL with the kind of resources to make it self-sustainable. Why I'm saying this? Because if you look at the quantum of power purchased, very, very scary. And it is also very scary when we look at the manner in which this power were bought. I am really curious to know as to why this has happened. And at the same time, how is it possible for anybody to have that kind of decision resulting in creating that system whereby it will create natural bleeding of the organization? Look at how many million units of power were purchased beyond what is required. Yes, beyond what is required, and the surplus power was sold at very little price. While the purchase was above 4 rupees, the sale is below 2 rupees. My late mother insisted that I should open a small shop so that I will learn the art of economics from ground zero through my own. She wanted me to get conditioning. So how to make profit? Now, here, we are all paying. Nobody is buying power nobody is using power without paying. We are all paying. There is a tariff petition submitted by the distribution company every year. And the State Regulatory Commission is fixing the rate. So when the distribution company loses, the burden is passed on to all of us, including the poor people who do not know why they have to pay more. How are we cheating our own people and ourselves? I'm also paying more. The power minister is also paying more. Just because of all this. Some are probably intentional, some are unintentional, some are with malaf with a predetermined intention, which is very bad. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to draw the attention of the government. Let us not play politics on this. But when we say something what is true, true cannot change. What is black will be black, what is white will be white. And let us not inflict that kind of irreversible injury in this crucial sector emission. I hope we have learned from the past. Please see the data. 4 rupees purchase rate and you're selling at below 2 rupees. And there is also almost 1/3 of the power which has been purchased. For whose benefit? And the burden is passed on. And look at the A&T technical and distribution loss and aggregate technical and commercial loss, AT&C losses. There's so much of discrepancies. You look at how the independent organizations which are paid to give us the correct picture of the both T&D losses, transmission distribution losses, and aggregate technical and commercial losses. The huge variation in respect of district-wise breakup. How is it happening after having taken up number of measures, including the revamping of the distribution system, metering, unified metering system? How is this losses going? The energy input and the actual, so if I'm ingesting 10 million units, then I know how much money I should get back. If I am selling 1 quintal of rice, I should ask the manager how much he should get. He cannot give me the account that, okay, he has sold 50 kg out of 1 quintal and the 50 kg is missing. Therefore, let me ask the government, through you, Mr. Speaker, sir, to look at this particular issue. These data are available. I don't have to indicate these data. It is all available in the file of the minister in charge, because it is also available in the public domain. It is available. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, serious concerns are there. Therefore, please, now we have also the whole mandate of the law under which we can appoint franchisees. Why is the franchisee in the first instance provided a space in the Electricity Act 2003? It is in order to involve the consumers in the first instance, not outsider. And we did exemplary well, a success story rather, by involving the consumers in West Khas Hills. They performed so well. So they were collecting the tariff as franchisees as per the mandate of the Act. Then suddenly one day something happens, then they are no more there. Then now we have started bringing people from outside, giving them franchisee who are failing miserably. They're failing miserably in the areas which is also inclusive of the area which is represented by the Honorable Power Minister, and also my areas. Half of the Garo Hills. And these are the areas where there's a reason to investigate, because the power ingested and the actual billing, huge gap. Somebody is stealing. Otherwise, where is it going? I will catch my manager if my manager comes and give me a record of only 50 kg of complete total sale and there is no more stock, if I have given him 1 quintal. So I think business is business. This particular entity has been designed. Why have we gone for unbundling of the then Meghalaya State Electricity Board, also all other states? Because we wanted to make all these entities viable, sustainable, self-efficient by making it more accountable. Therefore, a public entity, which is so crucial, we cannot allow it to be mismanaged. Please review it, find a way, because there will be a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Please have a political will. We are with the government in as far as this reform is concerned. As far as the desired need to correction is concerned, I have raised these points only to draw the attention, not with the whole malafide intention to embarrass anybody. Let us all take responsibility. It is our state. MECL is indispensable engine of growth for the state of Meghalaya. We see lots of important initiatives. The whole banking sector is dependent on energy. The moment I'm in Songsak, every time I have to on my generator, where is the money going to come from for all of us? Maybe MLS can afford a little bit of extra money. How costly the petrol and diesels are. Everybody is affected. People in your constituency, Mr. Speaker, people in CM's constituency, I also stay in Tura, so I know. So therefore, everybody is affected. This is a crucial sector, and while looking at generation, please look at the overall efficiency of transmission and distribution and catch hold of all those people who are responsible for all those, whatever we may call it. Let efficiency prevail. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would not like to, because I think many other members would like to participate. With these few observations, I hope I have drawn. There are many more things. I will embarrass the government if I speak on those things, but I think the moment the whole collective intent from the government comes to review the whole functioning of MECL under the mandate of the law and various other effective instruments are there. You have the regulatory commission, all these things together with the ombudsman system, I think we will prevail. There'll be better MECL in the days to come. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and with these few words, I support the cut motion.